As night cloaks the bustling city of Thalindra in velvet shadows, the four adventurers huddle within the dimly lit confines of an abandoned mill. Cobwebs drape the corners, framing the cracked and faded murals of a once bustling enterprise now lost to time. Pyra's amber eyes flicker with the reflection of her conjured mage light, casting long, dancing shadows where Wisp sketches a crude map of the Merchant Guild's vault, stolen whispers guiding his swift hand. Thoradin's armored bulk shifts slightly, his steel gauntlets clinking as he hunches over Wisp's shoulder, squinting at the intricate pathways. "Ain't no way we're fitting all us through them air vents," he grumbles. Seraph clasps her holy symbol, her gaze distant, as if reading omens in the patterns of dust motes swirling in the magical light.
I step closer to Wisp and Thoradin, my mage light flickering softly. "Worry not, Thoradin. I'll create a distraction at the main entrance with a little fiery flare. It should pull attention away from any other point of entry."
I sigh deeply and cross my arms, looking at the narrow passageways on Wisp's map. "Fine, but if the plan goes sour, I'm breaking down the front door myself."
I smirk at Thoradin's grumbling and add a few more details to the map. "Don't worry, Thoradin. That's why they call me Wisp. I'll slip through those vents and get the vault open from the inside." I then quietly get up and start making my way towards the air vents, sticking to the shadows.
I step forward, my voice a soft murmur tinged with the weight of inevitability. Embrace the darkness, for in shadow we find solace from the prying eyes of the living. I then cast Pass Without Trace to cloak us in a veil of shadows, aiding Wisp in his stealthy approach.
As Seraph's spell envelops the group in dark tendrils of shadow, Wisp vanishes completely, becoming only a whisper against the mill's crumbling walls. The air vents, rusted and narrow, beckon him like secret portals to treasure. Thoradin takes his position by the front, readying himself for the inevitable chaos, his grip tight on his warhammer. Pyra, fire flickering eagerly in her palm, anticipates their well-orchestrated arcane misdirection, while Seraph mutters a prayer for the departed souls resting beneath the stones of Thalindra, hoping they guide the party unseen through the darkness.
I step towards the front entrance, raising my hand as flames coil around my fingers, preparing to cast an illusionary inferno. Time to light up the night. I cast Minor Illusion to create the appearance of a small but intense fire at the front entrance, focusing on making it seem real enough to draw guards and bystanders away.
I grunt approvingly at Pyra's fiery illusion and take my position by the front door, ready to use my strength if needed. "Just be quick about it, Wisp. These old walls are calling to my hammer."
I slip through the narrow air vent, making sure my movements are as silent as a whisper, carefully navigating the rusted passage.
I whisper a solemn blessing over Thoradin and Pyra as they prepare their respective roles. In the stillness of the grave, find your strength and cast guidance on Pyra, aiding her concentration on the illusion. Then I quietly move to a shadowed corner, ready to cast silence if needed to muffle any noise from our activities.
37Me Pyra's illusionary flames leap to life, licking at the base of the front entrance, their hypnotic dance convincing enough to draw startled gasps from a pair of nearby guards. Thoradin feels a surge of heat as he stands ready to break down the door if the plan falters. Meanwhile, Wisp's journey through the air vent is a labyrinth of danger, each creak of metal a potential alarm. His nimble fingers find purchase, allowing him to press forward. Seraph's muttered incantations and whispered prayers weave a shield of shadows around their efforts, keeping them hidden from both mortal and divine watchful eyes.
I channel the growing heat in my palm, intensifying the illusion of the fire at the entrance to make it crackle and spark, while keeping a vigilant eye on the guards' movements. Let's see how long they can stand the heat.
I stand tall, positioning myself where I can see both the illusionary flames and the guards' reactions. I grip my warhammer tightly, my eyes scanning for the slightest hint of danger. "Stay sharp, the lot of ya. They could call for backup any moment."
As I snake my way through the tight confines of the air vent, I listen intently for any sounds of approaching guards or obstacles ahead. I spot a loose grate and carefully, oh so carefully, begin to unscrew it without a sound. "Come on, just a little more and we're in," I whisper to myself, my hands moving with practiced precision.
I close my eyes, feeling the cold, comforting touch of shadows around us as I murmur, "In the silence, we find our true purpose." I cast silence on the area surrounding the entrance, ensuring the guards hear nothing but the crackling illusion of Pyra's fire.
The illusionary flames roared higher, ensuring all eyes stayed fixated on the false inferno. One of the guards, face flushed with indecision, ran towards the street to summon assistance, while the other hesitated, gripping his spear tightly as he inched closer, skeptical. In the air vents, Wisp's deft fingers finally loosened the grate, and he slipped quietly into the vault room, its walls lined with glittering treasures that glinted like stars in a night sky. Outside, Seraph's silence spell blanketed the area, creating an eerie, noiseless void where even the guards' frantic steps became ghostly echoes.
Seeing one guard start to call for reinforcements, I step forward with a flourish, conjuring a genuine fire in my hand. "Let's turn up the heat," I say with a smirk, and I hurl the small fireball to land just close enough to the hesitant guard to make him back away in fear, but not harm. I cast Produce Flame to create a small, real fireball meant to intimidate and reinforce the illusion of a spreading inferno.
I plant my feet firmly, bringing my warhammer up, ready to swing if the situation demands. I focus my glare on the hesitant guard, muscles tense and bellow, "You take another step, boy, and you'll meet my hammer up close."
I quickly scan the vault, assessing the placement of traps and locks, and focus on the largest, most ornate chest. I kneel, pulling out my lockpicks, and begin to expertly work on the complex lock, murmuring to myself, "Easy does it, Wisp. One click at a time."
I place a hand on Thoradin's shoulder, channeling divine energy into him and murmur, "Let the fear of death fortify your spirit." I cast Shield of Faith on Thoradin, bolstering his defenses as he faces the guard.
The hesitant guard yelps and recoils as Pyra's flame singes the air inches from his face, dropping his spear and scrambling toward the street, leaving the entrance unguarded. Thoradin stands as an imposing sentinel, his presence enough to keep any stragglers at bay. Inside the vault, Wisp hears soft clicks under his nimble fingers as the ornate chest's lock begins to give way, revealing its secrets. The quietude induced by Seraph's silence spell creates a thick, almost sacred atmosphere, as if the shadows themselves are holding their breath in anticipation.
I move closer to the entrance, feeling the real fire warming my palms, and I prepare another small fireball. "Let's make sure they don't get any ideas," I mutter as I hurl it just outside the mill to create a distraction and ensure the guards stay away. I cast Produce Flame again, tossing it outside to keep the guards' attention diverted and reinforce the illusion of a dangerous growing fire.
I step forward, planting my feet solidly at the entrance, while swinging my warhammer down in a menacing arc, glaring at any potential reinforcements. "Stay back if you know what's good for ya!"
The lock releases with a final, satisfying click. Grinning, I open the chest just a crack to peek inside, checking for any nasty surprises like traps or alarms before fully opening it to reveal the loot. "Hello, beautiful," I whisper, my eyes gleaming in the dim light.
I sense the resolve in Thoradin and the success in Wisp's endeavor. The time for heightened vigilance arrives. Keeping my hand firmly on my holy symbol, I murmur, "May the veil of twilight shroud us." And I cast Bless on Pyra, Thoradin, and Wisp to enhance their efforts and fortify their spirits further.
The true flames Pyra conjured further deepen the illusion, causing a growing sense of panic in the street. The remaining guard backs away, shouting for water and creating a chaotic scene. Inside, as Wisp carefully lifts the chest's lid, he finds an array of glittering jewels and golden coins, wealth enough to change their fates forever. Yet from the shadows, unseen, a silent mechanism triggers, and the hidden blades beneath the chest's lip begin their deadly dance, inches from Wisp's nimble fingers and slick with the promise of poison.
I rush towards the vault room, sensing something amiss. "Wisp, watch out!" I cry out, and quickly cast Scorching Ray, aiming each searing beam precisely to melt the hidden blades and neutralize the trap before they can harm Wisp.
I see Pyra rush towards the vault room and hear her urgent warning. Without a second thought, I barrel after her, readying my warhammer. Wisp! Get down! I charge at the hidden blades, aiming to shatter them with a powerful swing of my warhammer.
As Thoradin and Pyra rush towards the vault room, I feel the mechanical trap beginning to activate under my fingers. With a quick, measured breath, I leap back, somersaulting out of the chest's path to dodge the hidden blades. Close call, but I've had worse. I mutter as I ready to disable the remaining mechanism from a safe distance with my tools.
I sense the malevolent energy of the trap and step into the vault, reaching out with an aura of protection. Death's embrace is not for you this day, I intone, casting warding bond on Wisp to share any harm that may come to him and fortify his defenses.
With Seraph's protective aura enveloping Wisp, Pyra's scorching ray sears through the air, reducing the hidden blades to molten fragments just as they spring. Thoradin's warhammer crashes down on the remaining mechanism, splintering gears and rendering the trap harmless. The vault room now lies still, its treasure glinting under the dim light, riches untouched just moments away from disaster. The chaotic clamor outside swells as townsfolk and guards attempt to quench the illusionary flames, their shouts barely penetrating the mill's silence. With the immediate threat neutralized, a palpable tension relaxes among the group, though the need for a swift, quiet escape remains.
Seeing the trap neutralized and the treasure secured, I nod at Thoradin and Wisp, then turn my attention towards our escape. Time to disappear like smoke in the wind, I say with a smirk, and I cast Fog Cloud to envelop the interior of the mill in a thick mist, obscuring our movements as we prepare to exit unseen.
I nod approvingly at Pyra's fog cloud swirling around us, turn to Wisp and say, "Let's grab what we can and move out, quick like, I've got your back." I move to the entrance, positioning myself to guard our retreat, warhammer ready in case any guards manage to see through the mist.
With the fog cloud rolling in and the trap neutralized, I swiftly gather as many jewels and coins as my nimble hands can carry, shoving them into my pouches. Time to vanish, just like we planned, I whisper, slipping back towards the air vent to retrace my steps and ensure our escape route remains clear.
I move with quiet grace through the mist, ensuring our departure is as silent as our entry, whispering, "We are but shadows in the dance of the living." I cast Pass Without Trace once more to cloak our escape in a deeper veil of shadows, ensuring none can track us.
37. The enchantments shroud you in a near-invisible mist, every step soundless as you make your way towards the mill's rear exit. Wisp slips back into the air vent, ensuring their path remains unblocked, while Pyra's fog cloud envelops the interior, creating an impenetrable veil of swirling mist. Thoradin stands ready at the entrance, his warhammer a silent promise of protection, eyeing the bustling chaos outside. As Seraph's magic settles over the group, your collective disappearance becomes an uncanny waltz with shadows. The mill creaks beneath your footfalls, barely audible through the thickening fog, and somewhere in the distance, the tolling of a bell signals the arrival of more guards. Time is of the essence.
I move swiftly through the fog cloud, guiding my teammates towards the rear exit while keeping an eye on the activity outside the mill. "This way, stay close and stay quiet," I whisper, my voice low and urgent. I cast Prestidigitation to create a faint guiding glimmer just ahead of us, leading the way through the mist and ensuring our path is clear and silent.
I nod at Pyra's guidance, making my way toward the rear exit while keeping an ear out for any approaching danger. I move with purpose, keeping my warhammer at the ready. "On it! Let's make this quick and clean," I mutter, positioning myself to cover the group's retreat and ensure no one sneaks up on us.
The jewels and coins jingle softly as I slip back through the air vent, ensuring it's secure behind me. Peeking out carefully, I scout the route ahead for any signs of guards or obstacles. "Stay quiet. We're almost in the clear," I whisper, using my keen eyes and ears to lead us safely through the shadows.
I glide through the thick mist, my senses attuned to the distant toll of the bell signaling approaching danger, my voice a haunting whisper in the air. "Do not fear the darkness, it is our ally tonight." I cast darkness on Thoradin's shield, creating an impenetrable sphere of night to aid our escape.